The giants of the online world are due to gather in Silicon Valley later. Their role in the so-called war on terror top of the agenda for the first meeting of the Global Internet Forum. The likes of Facebook, Microsoft, Twitter and YouTube have come together to launch the forum in the face of growing international criticism. They've been accused of failing to take action to take down extremist content and failing to support the security services by allowing access to encrypted communications.
Speaking en route to the forum's first meeting in San Francisco, the Home Secretary Amber Rudd insisted the internet giants have a crucial role to play in stemming the tide of terrorism.
The enemy, who is really trying to move swiftly online and to radicalise people in their own homes, are really stepping their game up, and we need our response stepped up as well. They need to be the ones to own that. We're asking them to work harder on this, to put more effort, more resources into it, and to work together to deliver it. And in these meetings, actually, I've had a very strong response from all of them. They say they will do just that.
Well, Professor Bill Buchanan is an expert in online security and cybercrime at Napier University and joins us now from Edinburgh. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Amber Rudd seems to be suggesting that the terrorists are ahead of these internet companies. Is that the case?
It's likely to be the case. I think that there is an increasing move away from social media for this type of activity towards the dark web. I think the important thing here is that these four companies, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube and Microsoft, all have different types of content. Twitter is public, relatively low volumes. Facebook now has over 2 billion users across the world, has high volumes. YouTube, obviously we're looking at methods which will mine into the video and look for text and images and so on.
Isn't the reality, though, as well, that when we look at Twitter and Facebook, for instance, that if a user encounters content that they're unhappy with, they can report that quite quickly? Are the companies responsive enough?
I think they are. Facebook recently employed over 3,000 social moderators. I think there's 100 manuals which outline how they moderate posts. But obviously many people will find material offensive, but there might not be a consensus behind that. So I think we've got to watch that we don't step over the line too much and breach people's rights to say what they want.
Well, and I suppose that's a thin line, isn't it? And I wonder how well you believe the companies respond to the browbeating that they've had from some politicians.
Well, the good thing with this initiative is they're looking for what's called a shared industry hash database. With this, there is a well-developed fingerprint for content which is well known inside the industry to be objectionable material. And I think what a lot of these companies will actually do now is to be able to share that database across the companies. Certainly the way the technology has gone, they can now mine for text, images, face recognition, even within videos. Sentiment analysis, you can actually see that someone is smiling or is grumpy, and now even gesture analysis. So I think the methods are becoming much more sophisticated now, and they'll be looking for a filtering system which would then possibly be sent on to human operators to make sure that the content is objectionable.
So there might well be a degree of consensus between the companies and the politicians on that front. Where they diverge is on the issue of encrypted communications, messaging services like WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger actually coding messages so that they can't be intercepted. And politicians have real issues about that.
That is probably one of the most fundamental questions. I think terrorists will tend to be using messaging systems which are encrypted and increasingly are encrypted. There is nothing wrong with WhatsApp and Signal and the Tor network in itself. It's really what the application of it is. And I think it's up to our society to understand that we could breach our own privacy by allowing backdoors into cryptography.
But at the same time, if it is a safe place for those who want to commit harm, then how do the companies square that circle?
I think they need trust from their users. They need to understand that when users use their services that they are protected in some way, and we don't open them up to risks of from cyber criminals.
OK, thanks very much for speaking to us this morning, Professor Bill Buchanan there, an expert in online security and cybercrime at Napier University.